Hello, church family. This is Pastor Dar, and I am bringing you the Wednesday refresh today. And today I have a story to start with, which is actually a joke that Lexi told me. And it starts like this. Why does Jesus not wear jewelry? Or why did Jesus never wear jewelry? Because he breaks every chain. Now, that made me laugh. And the reason I shared it with you is because this weekend we got to see our grandkids, and I had this necklace on. And as I was saying that little joke to my granddaughter, I spoke the punchline. I said, because Jesus breaks every chain. And this necklace fell off. And I caught the necklace and I looked at it, and the clasp, the chain actually broke off as I was saying the joke. No joke. And so I wanted to start my refresh off with that. It was a sweet example to my granddaughter of how the Lord works in mysterious ways at times, not expected surprises. And I got to talk to her more about the fact that he breaks different kinds of chains, and what that really was saying. And so I wanted to ask you some questions. What kind of chains are you wearing? What kind of chains do we wear that bring us down, that make our soul downcast? And we know that David in his psalm says, why so downcast, O my soul? Put your hope in God. And there's other ways of chains that we can carry. And another one is discouragement. I thought of discouragement, and I actually ran into a woman at Walmart last week, and I was waiting actually at the jewelry counter, not for a chain, but for someone to open up a cabinet where there was a Timex watch Barry needed because his watch stopped working. And I was waiting and pushing a button for the attendant. And as I was waiting, this woman walked up, and she was frustrated because there was no one there to help. And I told her that I had pushed the button for the last 20 minutes I had been waiting. And she said, she said, man, we got to find somebody. And so I just pushed the button again, and I waited with her, and I started talking to her. And she seemed discouraged. She seemed downcast. And I asked her name. Her name is Mary. And I asked her a question. And when I asked this question, she started crying, just put her head down and started crying. And the question was something like this: Mary, do you believe that God sends us help when we're discouraged? And she put her head down and just wept. And she said no one had ever taken the time to talk to her and ask her how she was doing before. And she was really struggling in her life. And she let me pray for her, and she got my number, and she was interested in coming to church. And I felt like the Holy Spirit broke a chain of discouragement in Mary just through a simple conversation. There's also chains of sickness. And as you know, my husband had cancer, and there were some really hard moments through that season. And just recently, he had surgery to restore his vocal cords. And after 2 years of not having a voice, I get to hear my husband's voice again. And so the Lord's breaking the chain of sickness and restoring him to health. And so there's also chains of addiction. This is Recovery Month. And so we want to just remember those who are crying out to the Lord and doing what they need to do to walk in freedom from addiction. There's chains of weariness. And just this Sunday, when I asked the kids, who do you say that Jesus is? The youngest in the room, some of you may know him, Marty McCoy. I said, who is Jesus to you? And he raised his hand and he said, he is strength. And so even the little ones can be in chains of weariness. and needing strength. And in Isaiah 40, I want to read this to you. It says, "Have you not known? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He does not faint or grow weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the faint, and to him who has no might, he increases strength. Even youth shall faint and be weary, and young men shall fall exhausted. But they who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." The Lord is powerful. The Lord breaks every chain. Whatever the situation you're in your life, remember that he will renew your strength as you wait upon him. And that word wait also means hope. Why so downcast, O my soul? Put your hope in God. And so today I hope you're encouraged that Jesus does break every chain. He does amazing things to show us and to lead us. And he sees us in our situations, whether it's with our grandkids or with someone at Walmart or with a family member who's sick or with a little one who is weary. Remember that he does break every chain in his power, in his spirit. And he calls us to wait on him, to trust in him, and to hope in him. I hope that encourages you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember that Jesus does break every chain.